Welcome to this edition of Partners for Community Living. I'm Judy Leasure, and I'm pleased to be your host, and I hope you will spend some time with us as we talk about some exciting upcoming events and activities in the community that we hope you might even consider becoming a part of. And as usual, we are going to introduce our panelists who are with us for this edition. And for you, those of you who have been with us over the seasons, you will recognize them. They're familiar faces and familiar voices to us. They are Tom Weaver, who is the Executive Director of Choices in Community Living. And seated next to him is Pete Roll, who is also an Executive Director, Resident Home Association. And we talk about those two agencies because Partners for Community Living is a collaboration between these two nonprofit agencies that was formed about 13 years ago or so to assist both agencies in adding to the quality of life for people with autism and Down syndrome and cerebral palsy and other developmental disabilities. And we're going to spend some time during this edition talking about why it's important that we have events and activities in the community, how it not only enriches the lives of those we serve, but really brings excitement and fun and opportunities for growth and awareness and accessibility for all of us in the community. And I think we'll go back. It's been a while since we've been together, and we had a very successful time over the spring and summer when we went to the people, our families and our friends and our neighbors, and we asked them for support in a very important endeavor. And that endeavor was contacting our area elected officials and legislators to let them know how critical the support for Governor Kasich's budget was. And I'm going to have Tom and Pete talk a little bit about the budget. Fortunately, that was passed, and what the impact has on it for your agencies and in the long run then for the, building a better community for all of us here, not only in Montgomery County, but all over across the state, but in particular, parts of the budget that really related to the quality of life for people we serve.
Well, I think the most important part of the budget, Governor Kasich's budget that was meaningful to us is the Department of Developmental Disabilities, and what they had in there was a number of items, but the most significant one was that we were pushing real hard for an increase in our rates so that we could pay our direct service staff, our direct care staff, more money. And I'm very pleased that the budget did pass with a 6% increase in our rates so that we can pass that along. And now, that's supposed to take effect in January of 2016 next year. And of course, we're working right now and doing all the crunching and see what we can do and getting the word out to all of our peers and everything so that will take place. But, there hasn't been a significant increase in our rates since probably 2003. So you've got 12 years of no rate increase at all, and so this comes at a very important moment for us. And of course, we're going to, like I said, we're going to pass it all on straight to those folks who do the most important job for us, which is that direct service and support for folks.
And Pete, tell a little bit about the important work that the direct support professionals do and why it's so important that they have a living wage so that they can provide the services they provide.
Well, in our homes and in homes across the country or across the state and in other service delivery areas, the direct service people are the people where we say the rubber meets the road. They are the people that take care of our clients and our residents and are with them through thick and thin. They're with them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and they basically meet all of their basic needs, whether it's clothing or helping them dress, bathe, feed, shop, go out for social activities, go to medical appointments. Without a robust direct service staff, those services don't get completed. And so people that are very needy of those services and dependent on direct service workers would kind of flounder and not have the types of things that they're used to having. So with this increase, it's going to allow us to pay our direct service workers a better wage. It'll probably help them get more engaged in what they do. It will also allow them to have a better standard of living. So when they're not living and taking care of our residents they're on their own, and they're doing things that they like to do, and they're getting some rewards for the hard work that they do. And it's been a long time since they've had those types of things. So I think they would tell you that 6% is really nice, and they could always use more. And we hear that, and we believe that, because it has been such a long time. But the way that this came together and the way that it's earmarked directly for direct service staff is something that was badly needed, long overdue, and is something that's going to pay a lot of benefits down the road for the people that receive those services. A happy worker provides good service, and if you can do your best to make them happy, the residents are going to feel that. And they'll feel that in many ways, but just the disposition of people coming in the door, maybe not having to worry so much about the day-to-day grinds of meeting their own personal needs and paying their bills, but they can come to work and think about what's best for the residents and how can we serve them best, and that's what we really want from our folks.
The goal we've always tried to achieve with our staff is for them to stay around a long time, because this is people's homes. And so that relationship with the person that you're in there and it's helping you, we become family. We want our staff to be there a long time and to be close and support folks through a lifetime of getting services with us. And so, the only way that we really can keep everybody happy is to make sure that our direct care staff get a meaningful increase in their wages, to keep up at least with the cost of living, so that folks can get what they need and make this a career and feel good about they do feel good about the work they're doing. They love the work they're doing, but we know that they have bills to pay, and we're trying very hard to make sure that they get that fair and honest wage.
And it was very important from the legislator's standpoint that when we tried to educate them on what was needed, they tried to educate us back and said, okay, we're going to put this in place, but you have to guarantee that this money goes to the people that you say it's going to. And so we take that very seriously. It's something we actually look forward to. There's some complications that we have to work out, but we're going to make sure that the people that that's supposed to go to receive it. And hopefully it'll return many benefits to our agencies and to the people that we serve, but also open the door for new workers to come in and work for us and work for our clients and become part of the family that Tom's talking about.
Well, and I know some of the things we always emphasize within not only your agencies, but agencies across Ohio and all, is the importance of the consistency and the continuity of having the same person and not having a revolving door. As you say, these are people's homes, and they form family units and all, and it's just like a child that might be in foster care or in an adoptive system or something. How important it is to have the same people there with them for at least a good period of time, and not have to learn somebody new and somebody new to have to learn them and everything. So how critical that is, and certainly I think it's going to be a happy holiday season for several people when they know January is going to get here, and just so people are aware that there's all the national conversation about areas that are working on raising the minimum wage and everything, and we're not talking about. Even though we say professionals and then we expect professionalism from the people that provide these services, they don't get a professional rate or haven't for years. And so talk about that, that level. Well, you may not want to talk about the exact, but the wages are not what people would anticipate with the amount of responsibility that come with it.
The draw that keeps people with us and attracts people to come and work in this field is the work you're doing. I mean, when you get the opportunity to spend a day with somebody or a weekend or a night, and you're assisting someone who can't speak really, but they're sharing with you the love. You can see it in their eyes, you can see it in their face, you can see it in the hugs they give you, in their communications and how they work with you. It really is. It's a feel-good. I fell in love with this work when I started in gosh, I hate to say this, 45 years ago. No, 40, excuse me, get the math right. But I really did, and I know that most of our staff that do this, they love it. They really love it, and the people who come and work with us for a while, they love it. But it really is the economics that drive that, make it difficult for a lot of folks sometimes. But we're doing everything we can, and I think we've made huge gains and jumps in that direction to get it better.
And certainly this increase in Ohio's budget now will hopefully cut into some of the turnover rate that all agencies face because of the wage that can be paid to direct support professionals.
That's certainly what we're hoping for. Yeah. And again, like you said, the continuity of care, where you, if you're living in one of our homes, you want to count on that same person walking through that door day after day, shift after shift, a person you know, a person that you've built a relationship with, somebody that you trust, somebody that shares your highs and your lows, just like a family member. That trust factor is huge. And it's not just a friend for the clients or the residents, they become friends of the people that work for us. And so that relationship building is really important, but we have to be real and understand that sometimes those relationships are based on the fact that you have to pay people some money to be there, and we've done the best we could over a long period of time, but it hasn't really been good enough. And this is something that's going to help make a difference. And so we're happy that the state legislator listened to us. We're happy that they cared enough to listen to the points of view and why this is so important. So from Governor Kasich all the way down, the people that supported this, are people that they're our friends. They really helped us here, and now it's our job to make sure that we share that with the people that work for us.
Yeah. I think what's interesting and what the caring, obviously, and feel good about what you're doing, but our jobs and the direct support staff job is hardly ever boring. People don't go home and say, oh man, another day, just like yesterday. Oh no, because you're dealing with people that may not be able to communicate very well, and so you're always looking for ways to do that. Sometimes you're working with someone who needs to learn some emotional or some maturity kind of skills in their life, and so you and the team are working really hard to try and guide that person and help that individual to pick up new life skills and become more independent, more self-sufficient, and have a more meaningful life in the community, because sometimes they will learn bad cycles of behavior, and so we're trying to break those things. So it's like you really do work as a team, and you really work really hard with everyone to try and make something good happen in a person's life, and it's challenging. It's not like going and flipping burgers or creating a part in a factory or something. You're really applying and thinking about a whole person's life and all the dynamics that come with that, and it's very challenging, but like I said, it's very rewarding. I think folks love it.
Be able to adapt on a moment's notice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you get into it and start doing it, you're hooked.
Yeah. Well, and I think we really want to really reach out and do thank sincerely every family member and every former employee and the families of our employees and everyone, our volunteers, that when we put out the call to contact our legislators, people sent emails and they did some phone calls and they sent letters and everything saying, this is just vitally important to this entire community. It's to the people that are working in this community, to the people that are receiving these services. So we did want to start this program by saying thank you and reaching out and saying thank you to the people that made this happen, and certainly to the legislators. Mm-hmm. And it's good to know that somewhere in this country there are some legislators that are actually taking action that is really benefiting the communities that they're serving and all. And that they.
Yeah, and it's important that to recognize the fact that they listened. We had to do a job of educating them. So our trade organization, Ohio Provider Resource Association, did an excellent job of educating people. The thing about education is to learn something, you have to listen. Yep. And they listened. And they came through in a big way for us. So you're right. We should say thank you because we appreciate the fact that they listened, and we also greatly appreciate the action they took.
And Let's move into some of the things that are going to be happening with partners for the next few months. It's getting to that point where it's going to be a busy time, and both the agencies, and this is Choice's 30th, 2015, Choice's 30th anniversary. And I know, Pete, you're already preparing plans for the big one for our resident home next year, which will be
big number 50.
50 years in this community, and the changes that you have seen, and well, maybe not you personally, but the changes that your agency has seen over 50 years.
Yeah.
And to remind people that resident home was probably the first private provider in this region, and certainly the one that was based on values and quality of care and for people. And you still, I believe, have the first person that you started serving.
We
do you
do.
not?
Michael Sperling came to us in 1969. He's still with us. We incorporated in 66. Michael came in 69, and a lot of people followed. But he's still with us, and he's doing remarkably well. But over 50 years, you see a lot of different things and a lot of different people. And we're very blessed because, we were basically a family organization. We talk about being families. Families are what started Resident Home. They wanted a place for their kids to go when there was no place else for them to be cared for. And they knew at some point in time the parents were going to pass on. And where's my son and daughter going to live? And who's going to take care of them? But they weren't just concerned about their own children. They were concerned about all the children that had disabilities. So a very forward-thinking group at a time, you're talking about the mid-60s, a lot of different changes happening at that time, and this was just one of them. But a group of people that just are remarkable, and we're in constant gratitude to them.
In fact, you have a new, not a new, but a board member that's back with you now, who is the son of some of those pioneering parents.
Right. Tom Gemeiner, who used to be with the county board, actually was a former board member of ours, but his mother, was a longtime supporter, one of the original founders of Resident Home. She happened to have a child that was disabled, and that was her involvement and her need to get involved and do something. But it wasn't it just wasn't talk. They actually did.
And it's come down through the generations.
It has, and so that their son helps us. We have another family with the Pratts that have their son-in-laws and daughters that help us. So, it's a family thing that goes down through the generations, and we're just blessed to be, to be around people like that and people that care for us. So, very, very good situation.
So as you plan for your celebrations, for your anniversaries, let's talk about some of the planning that's really underway right now. And the first one is your Big Beers, your annual event. And Pam Skelly, who works as Partners Events Coordinator, has been in eventing for quite a while now, hasn't she?
She has been. And
she'll be happy when this one, she gets to rest from this one. But talk a little bit about not only what Beer Fest is, what you do, what people can expect and all, but again, why are we doing that kind of a thing? Why are we doing that outreach, and why, what's happening as a result of that kind of an activity?
Okay, well, first of all, Big Beers is a beer tasting event that we're going to have on October 3rd at the Roundhouse at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds from 4 to 8 p.m. And it's a beer tasting where the public can come in and sample different beers, different craft beers from a wide variety of breweries, both locally and regionally. And this event basically is a fundraiser for us. So the way it started, there's Mike Schwartz from Belmont Party Supply. Mike used to be, and still is, a member of the Knights of Columbus. So in our very early days, as you get back to this 50-year theme, the Knights of Columbus were big contributors to Resident Home. And when I say big, I'm not talking about laying thousands and thousands of dollars on us. They did little fundraisers. They cashed in pennies. They had bake sales. They did a pass the hat at Kroger's. So they did all sorts of different things over the years to help us grow. And Mike was a member of the Knights of Columbus. So this is our 7th year of doing Big Beers and Barley Wines. So about 8 years ago, Mike approached Brenda Whitney, who's our former director, and said, I'd like to do something for you. I want to put on a beer tasting event. And of course, we didn't know a whole lot about it, but Mike did. and Mike knew about the craft beer industry, and now craft beers are everywhere. But when we first started, it was a kind of a novelty thing. So Mike helped us go in the right direction. He helped set this up for us. He went out and he pointed out what beer should be bought, how we should display it, how it should be served. And so he was with us a whole lot through the early years of our beer festival. So now he's kind of taken a back seat, and Pam Skelly and some other volunteers, namely Kevin Gray, have been very good about working with the distributors to purchase products that we will be able to sell at our event and hopefully make some money off of. But we have a lot of different donors there. They have donated TVs. They've given us sponsorships. A lot of local taverns come and work the event for us. And all of them have they pay to get in. And then they get to hand out their own coupons and things to entice people to come to their establishments. At the same time, they act as our pouring sponsors, and so they act as the bartenders that are there. And it's pretty much a win-win for everybody. So it's an event that still has its roots back to to our early days when we were so fortunate to be connected with the Knights of Columbus. So it's just it's a nice community event.
And we started out talking about how important the passage of the budget was at the state level, and how that provides support for the direct support professionals. But what we're doing with these kind of events is really meeting the needs of the individuals we serve, and providing things that their Medicaid will not provide for them, in addition to their normal needs. That if whatever it may be, if it's sometimes a van, sometimes it's sprinklers in a home. People don't, your homes, you have to have sprinklers in them.
Absolutely,
you have to have
we do.
sprinklers in them. You need chair lifts. And, I think you're trying to raise money for an elevator now for
Yes,
a home.
we are.
And, but just things like clothing and shoes and holiday gifts and hearing
Glasses.
aids
Hearing
and
aids,
glasses and things. So that's why this is so important. And it's so important because we do have people like Mike and everything that brings the community in, so that we're not alone in this, that this is a community event, and we really stress that it's a community event, and that whatever we do, we want to involve more and more of the community. So certainly thank you to Mike and Donna and to all of those who volunteer and everything. And there is more information about the Beer Fest at our website. There's a big banner. If you go on there, you'll see it on our event page at www.partnersohio.com. And there is an actual website for the Beer Fest, and it's listed on our webpage. And you go there, you get links, and I think it'll tell you all about times and tickets and everything else.
It's bigbeersdayton.com, so you can get that on our website, and you can go in there and you can purchase tickets. You find out about the time of the events, and they're even leaking different types of beers that are going to be there. Obviously, we're not going to put the whole list out there, but there's some very special beers that are starting to pop up, and we want people to know about them because some people are very interested in that.
And so, if you're out at Belmont Party Supply, or if you see that list and you see the people that are supporting us and you see them in the community, say, thanks for the good work you're doing and thanks for the partnerships you're building in the community and all. I wanted to talk, another partnership, and this is, we're always looking for new ones and exciting ones, and I think one of the most exciting ones that we've done this year is the door we've opened with Boy Scouts.
Oh, yeah.
And I know on October 5th, if there are any folks out there that used to be in the Scouts, used to have your own children in Scouts, you were a leader, a troop leader, or I don't know what all the titles are and everything, but we could be looking for you, and we could have a place for you. On October 5th, out at Kettering Recreation Center, there's going to be an open house. We are in the process of chartering a scouting endeavor with Boy Scouts of America. It's called a Venturing Scouting Program, and it will be open to the men and women served by Choices and Resident Home Association. And this venturing group is different from the regular Scouts in that there's no age limit on it, and it can be co-ed. But the people that participate are going to be able to earn their badges. They're going to set their goals for themselves. They can get up all the way to Eagle Scout, which is Ranger at the venturing level. So Kelly Baker, who is our volunteer coordinator, is working with the Boy Scout representatives to get this set up, and they will be out at Kettering Recreation Center on October 5th. We are looking for some volunteers that would like to become scouts in our troop and come out and join us and help with some of the leadership duties as well. We want this to be an integrated scouting adventure for everyone. So even if there are some scouts that would like to come out and join and be a part of our troop, we would welcome that. So and Kelly can be reached at 278-0791. And Kelly Baker, and she's volunteer coordinator, but she can tell you more about that. And it's at the Kettering Recreation Center on October 5th. And it's an open house just to start talking about, here's what the venturing group is, here's what the kinds of things you can do. But if you really love scouting, and I know a lot of people that have left scouting, they still have that passion for it and all, here's an opportunity to get involved again and really do something that's going to be creative. I believe the Boy Scout representatives told us this is one of the first efforts like this in this region for a venturing group. So you have the opportunity to get on a ground floor and to be a part of something really exciting.
The Scouts have always been a big, very supportive of people with developmental disabilities. Danny Powell had scouting going way back, and he became an explorer and finished the whole
Eagle Scout.
Eagle Scout. He finished the whole program, and he was one of the first, I think, to finish that. But I'd also like to give a shout out to the Kettering Recreation Center. They have just been so supportive and helpful in our people with developmental disabilities, incorporating them into all their programs and all that they do, and they're just huge and wonderful partners with all of this. So, our hats off to them. We thank them very much.
And then, as if we aren't busy enough, October 9th.
October is what?
What the talent show.
Oh, the talent show. I knew that.
He knew that. Pete knows he's going to be there as a judge and all. But if you haven't had a chance to really meet people with developmental disabilities and the people that work with them, they're direct support professionals, and people for probably the best night of entertainment you could have in the area, especially when you don't pay anything to come in.
It is so much fun.
It will be Friday, October 9th at Northview School, in the gym at Northview School, 8114 North Main Street in Dayton, and it's open to the public at no charge. Yeah. Tom, talk a little bit about your judges.
Well,
who do you have coming this year?
We have Senator Bill Beagle is going to be there. Kamar Gage from the County Board of DD. We have a couple of our board members already, and we're still waiting to hear from some other legislators in our area. But the acts this year, every so often, we've been doing this, I think we're probably in our 25th year of doing this, maybe even more. And over the years, the acts have just been getting better and better and better. And this year, I think it's going to be an outstanding show. People have been working on their little 4 minutes of fame, getting up there on the stage for over a year now. They start on them a year in advance and start thinking about what they're going to do. We have one fella who's probably changed his mind at least 5 different times over the year about which song he wants to do and get up there. But it is just, it is just a room full of people with so much joy and fun and support for what folks do. And our hats off to Larry Hansgren this year for his coming and emceeing. Larry's always been a big supporter of partners and the work that we've been doing. This is going to be his first year of emceeing the talent show, and so
and I think people recognize Larry Hansgren, the voice of the UD Flyers and WHIO Radio. We're so grateful this year that we've been forming our outreach, our community team, our partners community team, where we're getting friends from the community that are coming on board to do things with us. And Larry is one of those people, along with Nancy Wilson, who is usually our MC for I don't know how many years, but she had prior engagements this year. So Larry was right there and said, "Oh, he loves these people, and he loves what this program does."
I heard it wasn't a prior engagement. I heard they had to do hands,
rock,
paper, scissors, and Nancy Nancy lost.
Yeah. And then, we have John and Marty Moe from Iron Gate Realtors, and we're looking for other business leaders, church leaders, individuals from the community that would like to be on our community team. That maybe what you'll do is when we're doing fundraising and asking for sponsors for our group, you'd go out to lunch with us with a potential sponsor. Maybe you'll put your name on a letter when we need to maybe raise money for a hearing aid or something. We can use your name or something. We don't tie you into a lot of meetings and a lot of time and things like that. We just want you to be a visible partner with us so that the community is aware that people understand what Partners for Community Living does and how important it is, and it's important to them because Larry and John and Marty and Nancy have just taken this into their heart and have just accepted this. So we're looking for people that would love to do that, and we'd love to, even a group, if you're with a group or something that would like to join us. So again, get on our website and do that. And speaking of Nancy Wilson, after all of these years, and this is something it's really open to the public again, on November 12th, and Pete earlier mentioned John Pratt, and so many in the community knew John Pratt over the years. John Pratt was a person, once you met him, you never forgot him, and he was a pioneer in getting things done. He was a mover and a shaker, and at the county level, and he was a founding member for Choices, a founding member for Resident Home. Unfortunately, we've lost John several years ago, but we honor his memory with the John W. Pratt Legacy Award each year, and we're so honored this year that Nancy Wilson is going to be presented that award. And on November 12th, we're going to present her that award and recognize her for not only the work she does with Partners, but she has been involved with the county board. She's been involved with United Rehabilitation Services, with I even had a call the other day from Huber Heights Chamber of Commerce, said anytime they ask Nancy to do anything, Nancy's there. They want to be there to honor her. She's been active with the Dayton Children's Hospital. I don't know where she finds the time, other than she's on air on K99 very early in the morning, so I guess she uses all her waking hours to be out there and support others. But it's going to be November 12th, and it's 5:30 to 7, and we're at El Mason. We're going to have a tapas reception, and we're going to present her with the John W. Pratt Award. Again, you can give us a call or go online at our website. But again, Pam will be taking reservations. You've heard Pam's name before, 278-0791, if you would like to RSVP and be a part of meeting Nancy and helping the community. Thank her for her selfless acts, that she has not had to have done any of this, but she loves the people, and they love her, and it's the least we could do at this time. So, and then on December 11th, we do our big drawing, what we call Jingle Bucks drawing. And that's one of our fundraisers again, so that we can have money available to make sure everyone has holiday gifts, that we have winter coats, because there's always a need for winter coats when the cold weather comes around and everything. And Jingle Bucks is a raffle that we have 500 tickets. We only sell 500 tickets, and they're $25 each. And when the 500th ticket is gone, it's gone. And on December 11th, we do a drawing, and if we sell all 500 tickets, the winner could get $5,000. And then we would have money then as well to put in and make sure that some really good things happen for the people we serve. So again, all of these items will be on our website. So get on that website once a week or a couple times a week if you'd like. Not only see our stories about what's happening with people, but get our calendar. March 4th coming up. Next year, we're already starting, and Kelly is involved in this. You want to talk about the fish fry for a while, Pete?
Certainly. So we're going to have, what would you say, it's or maybe 15th?
Good.
At least maybe
Together.
15th, fish fry that we're going to have on March 4th out at the Huber Heights Athletic Boosters Hall. And the event starts at 6 o'clock and goes till 10 o'clock at night. And basically, you've been to fish fries before, so we're going to serve fish and sausages. There's going to be some games of chance. We have beautiful raffles. Several different nice raffle baskets that have been donated by different vendors in the community, both in the Dayton area and in the Springfield area. And it's just a nice night of camaraderie where you can come and sit down and have a nice meal, socialize with people, buy some raffle tickets, do some 50-50. And it's a fundraiser for us that, once again, in this particular fundraiser, the money goes back into the volunteer program. So whenever you support our events, whether it's a fish fry or any other event, the money goes back to serve the people that we serve. Yeah. And so if you're supporting us, you're supporting the people that we serve. And we're really hoping that you can join us on March the 4th. I know it's a ways off.
Put it on the calendar.
Hopefully the snow will be gone by then, and that we'll have a nice day and a nice time for you to come out and join us. You'll like the location. The facility is very nice, and most importantly, you're going to have fun with the people that are there. It's a fundraiser for us, and it's a fundraiser for our clients. So it's a win-win for everybody. Yeah.
And in addition to coming out and joining us as our guest out there, we'll have our tickets available and everything. But this is an opportunity for sponsorships for an organization or a small business or a large business. We have sponsorships that start at $100. So just about anybody, a family could sponsor, an individual could sponsor, a club or a group could sponsor, certainly a business, a small business or a large business. And we've been in, every year we're in the Huber community with this, and the Huber community is really super supportive. We have the explorers that come and help us with the traffic and all those kind of things to make sure that everything's going well. They make sure the lines, sometimes we get a few lines going there, and we ask people to be patient with us, and as we're getting things served and everything. But again, if you would like to get involved and you'd like to have your name added to people like Nancy and Larry and Iron Gate Realtors and those kind of folks, we have openings, and certainly would welcome you to come and join us for that part too. So Tom and Pete are always two of the last people to leave. So
well, somebody's got to tap off so you finish up the beer. So
well, it's one of those things that somebody's got to do it.
It's a tough job.
Somebody's got to do it and all, but it's a great thing. And then we just one right after another, we move into April, and we'll have our 9th. It's just hard to believe how these things are coming up. We'll have our 9th annual Art and Soul fine arts exhibit, our juried art exhibit, and this is something we do. Again, we're talking about the partnerships we're developing, and this is toward Independence, which is a similar agency that's located in Xenia, but they have services in Montgomery County and I believe Hamilton County and as well and all too. So a very similar organization to Resident Home and Choices, and we partner so well with them on this and do the planning and coordinating from it.
What I find so way cool about the Art and Soul is that we have so many people that have, they can't do a lot of things very well because maybe it takes verbal skills or something like this, but they have this amazing aptitude and an eye for art. And when you give them the opportunity to use some art supplies or, with a little bit of guidance, they can just create these wonderful, beautiful pieces. And to have a show where it's judged and by professional art judges, folks that know art, and come and we get the what do we get? We put up that 40 or 50 best pieces. We put
45 out of all of them that are submitted.
Yeah.
So, and they're professionally framed and matted.
And they're just like outstanding pieces of art. You and I usually fight over the one that we're trying to buy.
Yes, we've about taken up our wall spaces, haven't we, for what we bought and all. Yeah. But and that's another. Just a great result from this too is that people have the opportunity to earn money from the sale of their art, and to be valued as artists and everything. And we are still looking at we're looking at a tentative date for April 15th, and we're looking for a location where we hope to get into an arts venue again. For so many years, and again, talking about community partnerships, we were with Town and Country Fine Arts Center in Kettering, and fortunately for them, but unfortunately for us, they moved to a new location that doesn't have the inner space. They moved on where they're on the street now, and so they don't have the space available for us to go in and have our exhibit up and everything. Right. But they still have people that come and jury the exhibit with us and everything, and serve as jurors. And it's so interesting because they don't judge when our judges and jurors come in. They don't judge based on ability or disability. They don't know if the person has autism or has a developmental disability, can speak, is in a wheelchair. All they know is they look at the art that's laid out before them, and then they go and they judge it on the quality of the work. And they say, out of all of the, over more than 150 pieces or so, here's 40 or 45 that we're going to take, and then here's number 10, and here's
top
number
10,
9,
right.
and boy, there's best of show.
Yeah.
And when they stand there and talk, we're going, they're looking at things that we don't quite see, but they oh, well, look at the way the paint went on this, and look
always
at the
good.
depth and the texture, and so they judge it and they value it for art, which is a very positive statement. Again, not so many years ago that people would not have been valued for their artistic expression.
Well, and the feelings that the clients get when their art is displayed, and if they happen to be one of the top 10, it's just unbelievable. There's certain things that we all have that that we receive that we like, but when you see the awards given to these people, it's just amazing. They work really hard to put their best efforts out there, and to get rewarded for that is, you can't put a price on it. It's just one fabulous event, and it really showcases some great art.
And they get, one of the nice things is they get cash awards. Those top 10 get cash awards. That's part of, and
Maybe
again,
that's what they're smiling about.
yeah, that's what they're smiling about. They know that cash is coming. And again, it's like with our, with our other events, our fish and chips and everything, all of those things, we depend on you, the community, to join us, because this is something, when we started putting it together, there's no money in Choice's budget or Resident Home budget to take away from the support staff and to take away from the clients to do something like this. So we have to raise all of the money that, and that means that we pay for the matting and the framing, and that in alone is just spectacular. The Sketches out in Beaver Creek does our framing and matting, just an amazing thing. Every year we have the Montgomery County Board of Developmental Disabilities, Butler County, Hamilton County, Greene County. But we always need individual support and all. Well, you can be an art patron for just $100. You can make a donation and say, I want to designate this for the 5th place award, or the best of show award, or the 10th place award, or whatever it is. Again, it's not any money that we bring in and keep. It's money that stays right here in our community and touches the lives. I mean, they don't forget it. They never forget it. They just never forget, and the families don't. I think some of the best moments from some of these the opening receptions is seeing the families and the validation they feel about. Nobody ever told one of the first years, I had a mother tell me that nobody ever told her child could do anything. And it was just so powerful to have a mother say, nobody, and it changed her mind. About who he was. That's the power of this kind of thing, to do that. So coming to these kind of events and being a part of them and supporting them is life-changing, life-enhancing, and it's something that we're doing not only for the people we serve, but we do this for the community, because it's such a positive message in a time when there aren't that many positive messages. It's a positive message and a positive gift to the community to be able to have these things. We will be going back again. We're still on calendars. May 11th. Oh yes, and this is what now I've got to remember. 5th year, I think. Dining with the Stars. And if you want to get up close and personal with Nancy Wilson and Larry Hanskin and Fry Guy from K99 and Christian Hahn from Joseph Toyota and Gabrielle Enright from WHIO TV and Natasha Williams from WDTN. We may even have one of the basketball coaches this year, right?
It's possible.
It's possible. We're talking now. Jim Jaber may be joining us this year from the UD Flyers. Just a great night, and we'll be out at El Mason. And 4-course dinner, great dinner and everything. We'll have raffles, all kinds of fun things. But the fun part of this is you get out there and you tip your waiters. And your waiters make sure that you have a great night, and they're competitive. They want you they want you to dig in and give the money and all. And Larry Hanskin will make sure that you give money. Before you leave that night, he'll make sure you reach out and give money. But it's a great night, and again, we can't emphasize enough that this stays. It doesn't go anywhere off for national dues or fees or to support anything other than people that may be living next to you, that may be working in one of the stores that you go to, that may go to church where you go to church. So there's probably somebody benefiting from all of these events, somebody that you've already met and somebody that you know. So again, May 11th, and again, we're on that website. We're going to keep our website humming and keep all these calendar things going on. We'll have photos and all kinds of information on how you get tickets. Again, sponsorships are really critically important. That's the primary way. Although our guests are really supportive of their waiters, and they are very generous and all, our primary way of raising money with Dining with the Stars is through our sponsorships. And so we are looking for generous sponsors, corporate sponsors, small business sponsors, again, groups and organizations that may want to step forward and support us. And then the last one we'll talk about as far as getting that calendar stuff down. Then maybe we'll just do some recap or something then. But then May 20th is our annual bowl-a-thon, and again, this is we're so thrilled that this is where the Boy Scouts are coming. They're going to be Boy Scouts join our bowlers this year, and I know it's going to be. I hope they're looking forward to it, and they'll get excited more as they get closer to it, but I know our bowlers will be super excited by it. And this, again, is a community event. You can come out and bring your family. You can bowl by yourself. You can bring 4 people and bowl on your own team, or you can say, I'm going to come with a friend. Give me 2 of your bowlers, and we're going to get out there. And all of the money from the bowl-a-thon, and it's out at Beaverview, and Beaverview is always a great host for us, and they have it set up. They know we're going to be there, and they're already set for us and everything. And the money that goes for this is something maybe we could talk a bit about, is that each agency has what's called a wish list. And so maybe both of you can talk about your wish list and why this money is so important and why this event is so important in raising that money.
Well, as we touched on earlier, a lot of the funds that we receive are kind of designated for some of the work that we have to do, in terms of paying our staff and paying for benefits and managing our homes and things like that. So sometimes there's not a lot left over to do some really good things for people. So many years ago, we established wish lists, and our staff contribute to those through our community campaign. We've had different events that we use that we put money into those wish lists for. But the bowl-a-thon's primary function is to provide money for the wish list. And there are so many things that you can do with a wish list. You can sign somebody up for bowling league. If they don't have money to go, they can go. You can buy hearing aids. You can buy eyeglasses. You can buy special shoes. Somebody that never gets to go out, they can go to a ball game. They can go to a Dragons game or a Reds game or a Dayton Flyers game. All the personal interests that we all have outside of our daily lives are things that we want to give to our residents. And with this wish list, we're able to make a lot of those things come true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we mentioned it early on that the funds that we get from the state, primarily, 99% of that money goes to pay for the direct support professional that's working with the individual. So when it comes to paying bills, that's coming from the individual Social Security money, or some of them have part-time jobs, or and they work if they can, but very, very few people make over $700, $800, maybe $900 at the tops a month. Now, when you pay your rent, you pay your utilities, you pay your food, and you pay all of the other things that you need in order to get by. There's not hardly any left over. And those are the things that we're talking about, because people deserve a meaningful life. They deserve to have those opportunities to have friends and do things. And this is our folks that we're helping. It wasn't their fault that they ended up in the situation they're in. So that's our work, is to do what we can to try and give them a leg up. And that's what the wish list is all about. And we've done just wonderful stories, you know, coats, hearing aids, wheelchairs, vacations. And,
Well, I know Pete talked once about a gentleman that wanted to buy hot lunch.
Yeah, as a
At
matter
work.
of fact,
Yeah.
and the guy would go to work every day, and we would pack him a lunch, but you know, where he worked, they always served a hot lunch, but he didn't have the resources to buy that.
Yeah.
And you know, the wish list made that happen for him. And you know, so every day when he goes to work, he's not carrying a bag. He's not carrying a bag. He doesn't have to take money because they bill us for it. But his needs being met. He's happy about it, and you know, you can put a price on that. We know what it costs,
Right.
but to him, it's something that's very special and very unique, and you know, we're just very happy to be able to do that.
Yep.
But again, you talk about our sponsorships, you talk about supporting our events. That's where the money comes from. You know, when people come and help us, we're able to turn around and help the people that we serve. It feels good to be able to do that. I'm sure it feels great to receive that.
Did we mention we're not-for-profits and all the money we get goes right back into the
Right,
service?
goes right back, and in this community.
Yeah.
It stays right here for people that you know and everything, and that I know that some of the most special moments for all of us over the years have been what we've been able to do with the wish list. And again, we started off talking about direct support professionals and, you know, that the importance of giving them a living wage and all, but even when they didn't, those years that they didn't have an increase, every November we have our employee campaign, and people take from their paychecks, and it may be just, you know, it may be $3 a paycheck, or $4 or $5 or $10, but they see the value that this makes in the lives of the people that they serve. They come to us and say, you know, Mary's coat is really bad. Can you please help her get a coat? Or, you know, this dining room table is barely hanging together. We need a dining room table for the ladies. Can you help us get a dining room table? Can you give us enough money for lunch? Or, you know, Calvin wants to bowl, you know. He wants to be in an integrated bowling setting and everything. And so they give of their own money. And so what more powerful statement can you say about their commitment? And so, you know, we want to reach out to the community and say, would you have a level of commitment to us as well to do some of those things? And certainly we don't want to end the program without saying not only these events, but Always Open is our volunteer program. Had a great summer this year with the volunteers. Had so many homes that had landscaping and all kinds of garden work done and everything. You want to talk a little bit about the Kentucky group that came?
Oh, yeah. Well, I know they worked at your home too. They came to our home. It happened to be a day when it was raining pretty hard, and we had a landscaping project set up. We were going to take some bushes out and plant some flowers and shrubs and clean up some area in the backyard. It rained the whole time, and those guys, a lot of them were young people, and of course, you know, young people, the weather is not a big deal to them. They were out there and they did it. It was just, they just had at it, and they had a lot of fun. I think that was more. But the guys that lived there really appreciated it. We got some wonderful photos of them, you know, interacting with the folks and just having a great time.
The attitudes were just fantastic. I mean, it was a bad day weather-wise, and they didn't care. They went about their jobs of cleaning and raking and throwing brush away, and they did it with such a positive atmosphere. I mean, their attitudes were just amazing. No complaints. They're getting drenched. You know, you give them a little something to drink, a little meal. They would keep on working. They worked well with each other. I mean, it was a really positive experience for us, I think, for them and for our residents.
And that's probably the furthest away. It was a youth group from a church from Harrodsburg, Kentucky, that came all the way up the road here, and with Kelly's work and everything, and found out about us and a volunteer opportunity and came up. But of course, we had the individual volunteers and the other group volunteers that made sure I don't think there was a home that needed it that didn't get spruced up this year, and all kinds of wonderful things happened and all. So I do want to let you know that, we have volunteer opportunities that are open for individuals. We had the kids in, the Summer of Service kids come in. So eighth graders, high school kids, if there are students that need service hours, certainly we're here to provide that for them. Let me give you Kelly Baker and Pam Skelly. If you're interested in any volunteer opportunities, that is Kelly Baker. If you're interested in any of the calendar events that we have going, sponsorships, want to find out about getting tickets, anything of that nature, that's Pam Skelly. And that number, they're both at the same number, 278-0791. And again, you can learn about all of those things on our website at www.partnersohio.com. And there is even an application on our website for volunteers that you can fill out, and Kelly will get back to you. She's another one of those who's got so much energy. I'm not sure where it all comes from, but she will immediately get back to you. So we want to thank Tom and Pete for always spending time with us. They always have so much information about what we're doing. And we want to thank you for spending the time and listening to us during this edition. And we hope, again, that you will join us throughout the year as we come back and talk more in depth about these events and activities and about services and how we all work together to partner to build a better community for all of us. And from all of us at Partners for Community Living, from Resident Home Association and Choices in Community Living, we wish you the best of the coming season, and enjoy the fall and enjoy the holiday season that's coming. And join us again for Partners for Community Living.